Hello everyone, and welcome to a very brand new Let's Play series for Dwarf Fortress. So yesterday, something unfortunate happened to me. I made the first episode of this video, much like I do with the other, or that I have done with the other series. I intended on having episode 1 be the embark episode where I talk about what I'm doing and generate a new world and then walk through picking a point to embark from, or embark to, I guess you'd say, and got it all finished up. It was, about 30 minutes long, and wrapped it all up, sent it to YouTube, and it got copyright flagged because of SoundSense. I had SoundSense running with everything enabled, and one of the songs was copyrighted. So I decided that I would stick with what we had versus making a whole new embark video, since I hadn't done any gameplay yet. And yeah, it's kind of a bummer, because I really do like showing you guys all of the embark stuff and putting together the actual expedition and such. But oh well, that's okay. So the only thing that I've done so far is embarked, and I looked around, and sure enough, here we have some ocean, and there are some pools of murky water down here. And what I did, since this is, I failed to mention, a challenge that was given by one of my subscribers, who suggested, hey, why don't you try doing a challenge like this, or this. And some of the things that were given to me were harder than others. And being that I'm not amazing at Dwarf Fortress, I thought I would start with one of the easier ones, and we could progress into maybe more difficult ones down the line. So this is an ocean challenge. Now, the person who gave me the challenge did not specify whether it would be allowed for me to have a river or a stream, but I was pretty sure that they wanted no fresh water available, because if there was fresh water available, then what's the point? It doesn't really matter, does it? So it's almost like you just have a fortress with a very beautiful view. So the whole point of doing an ocean challenge, what makes it difficult, is that all of this seawater is salinated, which means it has salt in it, and dwarves simply just cannot drink salt water, just like we can't drink salt water. And to get around this, there are a few different ways that you can go about it. But what we're going to be doing to get around it is we're just going to be digging down at some point, pretty early on, I think, in our this campaign, to find our first underground cavern lair, and then we're going to be making a well, is what we're going to do to get past it. So you can look forward to that. But anyways, what I did is I set some activity zones down here around these murky pools, just because I wasn't too sure if the dwarves would come and get water from the murky pools, but I don't want them to, because that would be kind of cheating, right? So I set some activity zones down here, and what I did with them is to get them to maybe not drink water, I zoned it as a water source and then made it inactive. So my hope is that because I have it actually zoned as a water source but inactive, that nobody will come use it. We'll see. So, anyways, the embark itself is not really that bad. It had pretty much everything that I wanted, which was I was looking for, multiple metals and, soil, which I knew that since we were going to be embarking next to an ocean, we were definitely going to be having some soil. That's something that you can pretty much count on. All right. So, and we do have a good amount of trees, which turns out to be good, because whenever I was putting together the things that we were going to bring on our embark, surprise, surprise, there was no fuel at all in the list, other than coke under the miscellaneous. There was no bituminous coal, there was no lignite, so that means that more than likely we're not going to be able to find it from our caravan that comes in the fall as well. We're not even going to be able to request it. Such is life. in Dwarf Fortress, so we might get to take another crack at getting a magma smelter running as well. Hopefully it won't crash this time, although I will say I do have seasonal saves up and running, so maybe what we'll do is we'll like wait until it saves, and then right after the save we'll be like, okay, now go, it's go time. Let's build our magma forge, and then if it crashes, then we can just reload. That way we don't lose all of the progress. I mean, I'm serious, guys. It was like 5 episodes worth of playing, and I was not going to replay through that and force you guys to rewatch it. Yeah, it was disheartening, but whatever. We're going to carry on. So, first, before we do anything whatsoever, we need to name our dwarves. So I do have 4 names this time. One is me, as the erstwhile dwarven leader, I suppose you could say. So let's link up Dwarf Therapist here. Let's see if... will it find it? Apparently not. Every time I go here in XSplit to back to Dwarf Therapist, I always have to recapture it, which is a bugger. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so here you can kind of get an idea, since you didn't see in the Embark video where I put my skills. We brought 4 miners, a carpenter, a woodcutter, a mason. It's pretty standard stuff. We've got a doctor, 1 farmer, a brewer, a cook. We did this time bring a weaponsmith and an armorer. And of course we have somebody also with some trading skills. And then our doctor also has architecture and mechanics. So I think this time I opted for like a mega noble that like has, the doctor and does this stuff and also does the trading. So, all right. Well, this time it looks like we've got two dwarven lasses and 5 stout dwarven lads. So this is this is our noble. So I guess this is Nerdstalgic. Hail and well met, Nerdstalgic. Let's take a look at Nerdstalgic here. Does not easily hate, is not careful with resources and spends unnecessary effort, has a tendency to go it alone, disregarding the advice of others, doesn't mind wearing something special now and again. Oh, well, how nice. Does not find most jokes humorous, is made deeply uncomfortable by differences in culture or appearance, does not go out of their way to help others, tends to make a small mess with their own possessions, enjoys the company of others, doesn't seek out excitement, values cooperation, disregards tradition, dreams of mastering a skill. So, hates brown recluse spiders. That's where we are the same. I hate brown recluse spiders too. They're native where I live. They're scary. Even though I know rationally in my mind they're more scared of me than I'm scared of them, because I'm like basically Attack on Titan size compared to them. But anyways, moving on. So that is going to be Nerdstalgic. So because our last playthrough went pretty quickly, I'm going to rename. I'm going to add Mockintier back into the mix as well. Mockintier, or as I like to just say, Mac. And then we have 2 new brave souls. We have a Tenaster. And we also have a Rangdor. Thank you guys so much for submitting your names for this. It really, I like it whenever we add nicknames to these dwarves. I think it gives us a greater incentive to like check in on the daily goings on of our dwarves that have names. It's just kind of something that's neat. So, and then when we do silly things and silly things happen in battle, then it gives us something to laugh about. So, Anybody who's watching, if you want to have a dwarf in any of my Let's Plays, just feel free to leave a comment with your name, and I'll add you to the list, and we'll keep you in the mix as well. So in the future, if it grows to be more people than the original starting 7, then what we will do is we'll just, go random. And that's easy enough to do. So that way everybody can get in the starting 7 when, at some point in time. So, because, starting 7 is where it's at, right, guys? Okay. So let's get to it. Let's see what we're going to do. Well, of course, we're going to need to designate some trees to be cut down. So I'm thinking we're probably going to go in. We're going to go down and go in the side here to go under. So I'm thinking let's just cut down some trees around. Ooh, I'm kind of scared here because what's the water look? Okay, I don't want the dwarves to drown. So yeah. And this is all driftwood. I wonder if would that be gathered plants? No. Maybe we have to like claim it. Can we claim it? Let's go down a level. Driftwood. I think we can get driftwood. I think we can do it. I don't know. We'll see. So we'll have that going on. And then we will designate somebody to gather some plants up here. Well, just to keep these people busy, because while our miners are going, people are going to be kind of like, man, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? So, and we just want to keep them busy, keep them out of our hair, out of our miners' hair, so that our miners can do what they do best, which is mine. Okay, and as I said, we're going to go into the side right here. Is this just grass? Lots of grass, lots of sand. This is interesting. I do admit I have had an ocean embark before. It did have fresh water on it, though. And this one's unfortunately not as cool as that one was. The one that I embarked on before actually had... well, of course, I haven't unpaused yet, so this one could have it too, but it had like really awesome waves. Like, the only way I can kind of describe it is that like the way that the water, like the coast was set up, was like it came to a point, so the waves like rolled into a point and like splashed out onto the beach. I don't know, in my head it seemed really beautiful, really weird pixely kind of way. I don't know. It sounds weird saying it that way, but like I could imagine it in my head. I was like, oh man. And I thought at one point the water was actually going to get up onto the wagon and like wash away all the supplies. I was like, oh God, no. First Kias and now this. And of course, I haven't had any Kia problems in a while, but God damn those Kias. Thieving sons of anarchy. Anyways. Don't get me started on the Kias. Fucking Kia birds. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to have our trade depot be inside, I think, in here. It's kind of just what I do. I have trade depots inside a lot. How deep do these murky pools go? Okay, so it's going to end right there. We're going to be able to do a lot of good farming here. Imagine probably the first layer, maybe even 2 layers, are going to be soil. Hell, it could even go deeper than that. Not necessary right now that we build our farms. And I do have some ideas for some interesting just design flavor that I think I might do in terms of like our hallway here. We might do something where we have like carved fortifications here. Like make this into a murder hallway and have archers stationed back here. Like do an archer barrack right here, and you guys get the picture. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of flare this out this way. Maybe let's what do I want to do? What do I want to do? I don't know that I want to make this any less than 3 wide, because it's going to be pretty heavily trafficked with people going back and forth. Thinking about like doing something like this. This is kind of fluff. but it's worthy fluff. And what we're going to do eventually is we're going to put statues there. We're going to put statues there. We're going to put statues in the corners. We're going to even put statues here. Actually, if we put statues there, it kind of like, well, does it? No, that won't shit on our plans. It just means that the fortifications can't go here, because then they'll be shooting into a statue's ass. So they'll just have to go right here. Okay, that sounds fine. So they're like, the invaders will all be wandering down the hall and they'll be like, oh, these statues are so cool. And then they get shot. Right? They'll never see it coming. Never see it coming. All right, and then we will go ahead and make it up downstairs here. And I'm going to go ahead and take this thing down. We're down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just to get an idea of the soil sitch. Ooh, I guess we can kind of check here. This will tell us sandstone, okay. White sand. It could be different though further. Wow, okay. Yeah, that's pretty deep. That's red sand and sandstone again. And this is clay. Clay is good. We can make a pottery. Oh ho, what's this? Tetrahedrite. That's a good find early. That's a really good find early. So we know we have tetrahedrite. That excites me. That excites me. Finding it early. Yeah. Doing it. We're doing it live. We're doing it live, guys. Okay. I think... Oh. Hold on. We need to set our nobles. Okay, so... Nerdstalgic. More or less. Alright, so our manager... Wait. Okay, Chief Medical Dwarf. We'll do that first. Is Nerdstalgic. Our broker is Nerdstalgic. Our manager. We don't want I don't think we want Nerdstalgic to be the manager, simply because they can get tied up doing things that we don't want them to be doing. Or maybe I'm thinking about bookkeeper. I might be thinking about... Actually, yeah, let's make our bookkeeper and our manager the same person. I'm thinking... It's either the woodcutter or the cart. Let's make Tinister. Yeah, Tinister, congratulations. You are now the manager and the bookkeeper for our expedition. Well met. And we don't need a militia commander, a sheriff, or a hammerer yet. Hopefully nobody will be breaking any rules. And then let's go into the kitchen. Let's all go to the kitchen. Okay, I'll stop singing. Because we don't want our plump helmets cooked. And do not cook. Do not cook. It is verboten. But you can cook those. That's fine. But we probably won't be doing any cooking. What kind of animals did we get? Hopefully. Oh, cross our fingers for a mating pair. Yak cow and a water buffalo cow. You know, I don't think that's going to work. Okay, so we need to get a pasture set up. We could put them out here in front, just right here, but I think we're going to put them actually up on the hill. I don't want them wandering too close to the water, right? Right. Let's just make it a nice big size pasture where they can roam free. Boom and boom. And then until we get some ropes set up, why don't we make another pasture? This is something that I do a lot. You guys, if you watched any of my videos, you know this is kind of how I run my ship. And then I assign the dogs to that. The cat we're going to give free reign until we get a food stockpile set up. And actually, we'll just go ahead and leave the cat there. We'll assign the cat there too. Maybe get some vermin or something. And now we need to make a refuse, a stockpile. So where do we want to put the refuse? If there are waves, we could put the refuse stockpile down by the water and then let the tide come in and take the refuse back out. I don't know if it works that way, but that would be really awesome if it did. Instant garbage compactor. Alright. Well, we'll go like that for refuse, and we want to click on it. Oop. I want to change the settings on it. We want to forbid shells and teeth and hair and wool and bones. Those, we'll put those by somewhere else. And then we'll go ahead and make this also be a dump. The dump. Whoa, okay, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Get to work, guys, get to work. There go the waves. Awesome. How far up are the waves going to go? Beautiful. Beautiful. It's pretty neat, guys. Pretty neat. Hopefully, like, there is no tide, and the tide doesn't come in, like, flood our fortress. That would be comical. That would be really comical if that happened. So, it's pretty fast going through the sand. All right, let's go ahead and get our trade depot down so we don't have to worry about, like, rushing. Oh, God. Let's wait till we hit some stone. Let's wait until we hit some stone. All right, white sand, red sand, clay. There's our stone. Now, there might actually be some more... There's a chance that we might run into some more soil around here. It's a possibility. We could go one more layer down for our workshop layer. Could. I don't know. I think this is fine. And if we have some, if we run into some, sand or whatnot, it's not the end of the world, even though I like to act like it is, All right, so how do we want to design our workshop layer for this this tango, this go around? To be honest, I was pretty fond of what we had going on in our last video. I rather kind of liked that. But I'm not really that picky. About the only thing that I really, really enjoy, that I really am a big proponent of all the time, is having the 5x5 workshops. I think 5x5 workshop space with the room for the raw material stockpiles around the outside is the future, brothers and sisters. I think we have to adopt that. Alright, so maybe this time what we'll do, just to like throw a curveball out there, is maybe this time we will put our workshops around the outside edge here. Let's try that. It's just we'll do it and we'll see how it looks. If it looks like shapoopy, we'll change it up. So this is gonna kind of hang over a little bit. Yeah, it's not gonna fit. It's close to fitting. So if we bumped that out, what if we did this? Alright, what if we did this? What if we did this? Do like this and like this, and get rid of that. Do it like this. I know some people just like to just throw stuff up and not worry about it, But I actually kind of enjoy like trying to make my fortress aesthetically pleasing. And then what I'm thinking here is having a large stockpile here in the middle. And what this would do for us basically is this would let us, we could pretty much just carve out this section to start out with, which would let us get down to the bedroom layer quicker, to get bedrooms up and running. And we could make do with this. There would be some kind of weird intermingling. Like, normally I like to have each different section dedicated to like one type of craft, like stone stuff here, wood stuff here, because it just makes the stockpiles a little bit more, I guess it makes sense a little bit more. But what we could do is we could say, all right, this is going to be wood. We'll say this is going to be a wood zone, and then we put like the mason over here, and then the stone goes over here eventually. Should be fine. So this would give us, looks like 7 workshops per zone. So that would be room for 28 workshops here with very nice size, very, very nice size stockpiles in the middle. The problem with this is that it's not terribly efficient, especially before we get a bunch of peons to drag things around. Whenever the people are actually having to do their own grunt work, it's going to be a little bit labor inefficient. Like once we have the stockpiles set up properly, and we have enough people to where we have dedicated haulers, and the people can just come out here and then go back in there, I think it'll work out really well. This room right here is a little bit of a bugaboo, now that I'm thinking about it, because there's no real way to go straight in there. So for them to get in here, they would have to go in another workshop to get in there. And I know that dwarves can move diagonal. I understand that, but I don't know that I like the aesthetics of that. We could turn it into another stockpile. It is true. It could be a stockpile. I don't know. I think here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave that space blank for now. And then if we have an idea, or like we say, oh, we need something, we can do something with that. Because a lot of times, as you're playing, you have good ideas, and you're like, why didn't I think of that? And time's already passed, so this will be a way to kind of get around that. Maybe. Okay, and then Gigantor stockpile. I mean, that is massive. Massive stockpile. And we'll just go across with the entrances. Son of a gun. Like so. And then we'll do the same thing here. Like this. Boosh. I love having big stockpiles. Big stockpiles are the bomb. Especially the further in you play, you actually do need a lot of stockpile room. Unless you're just like a whiz with managing the stockpiles and such, which you might be. And if you are, kudos to you. Okay, so I think we're going to get that dug out. And then once that's all dug out, we're going to lay down some workshops real fast. And then we'll get to work on our bedroom layer. Once we have our bedroom layer all situated, we might go in search of our cavern layer so that we can get our well set up as soon as possible. For a well, we're going to need blocks, a bucket, a rope or a chain, which I brought an extra rope in my embark, and maybe a mechanism. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, unpausing. Get to work, boys. Alright, so now they're going to be mining a lot slower. Still picking some plants, I see. Good, good. Who is the idler? Who is the idler? Nerdstalgic, you lazy bum. You lazy bum. Oh well. He'll be busy soon enough, helping haul and stuff. Alright, so now we can go ahead and construct the trade depot. since we have hit some rock. So we'll chart it up. Maybe that will persuade Nerdstalgic to get busy. Maybe, or maybe not. He's like, you know, I'll work when I'm ready. I'll work when I'm ready. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about me. The waves are coming in. Nice. I wonder why this didn't get cut. I don't know. The game may have set a higher priority on gathering all this junk. Since I did mark a pretty big zone, you know, things happen that way. So, all right. How is the digging going, guys? Well, trade depot's up. Excellent. So we don't have to do like a last minute thing like we did that one time. I was like, holy crap. Cassiterite, huh? Cassiterite. Interesting. I think tetrahedrite. What comes out of tetrahedrite? I'm gonna refer to the wiki just real quick because I'm a little bit hazy. So this is what happens when you play a lot of Dwarf Fortress. You just get kind of hazy about things. So, money. Well, I know cassiterite is kind of poop. It is kind of poo. The cassiterite you get 10 out of. And then tetrahedrite, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I was hopeful that it'd be iron, but like in my head I was like, no, that's copper. But the good thing is you can actually, I think you can put the tin and the copper together and make bronze. So which is better than both of the other things. It just involves more fuel. So, yeah. So tin, copper, and some silver. So silver will be good for weapons. It's excellent. So we've got some plans already rolling. More cassiterite. I'd rather have more tetrahedrite at this point, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. At least it's something. We've got a lot of idlers here. Why are you guys idlers? The manager, the woodcutter, expedition. Woodcutter, I told you to cut these trees down, sir. I wonder if he's not doing it because of the water. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's because I designated it to be chopped at like the second level, so you'd have to actually climb up the tree. That might be the problem. I think I'm gonna leave this one alone. I don't want him to get brought out in the tide. For some reason, it wasn't letting me mark it with my. Maybe is it because they're already marked? Maybe. Huh? That's awful strange. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Whatever. Let's designate some trees to be chopped down up here. There you go. Get to work. Chop, chop. Make it happen. So once they get done with this block right here, I'm going to go ahead and turn this into our Mason's Workshop. Mason's Workshop. Bada bing, bada boom. And then we will put, no, I don't want a farm plot. I want a stone stockpile around the Mason's Workshop. Choo, 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 choo. And then we'll get it set up for, we do not want metal ore. We no economic stone, no clay. Yeah, just other stone. Max wheelbarrow 1, that's fine. And then once this gets set up, we're going to make our traditional allotment of 1 chair and 1 desk for our manager's bedroom, and then we'll probably have him nail out a bunch of doors. Okay. Add new task. Throne and table. And then door. Okay. Until the queue is full. We could go crafts dwarf here. It is an option. Maybe we will. Crafts dwarf's workshop. Now, we were doing toys in the last video. We did toys. It was okay. But I think we may go back to mugs. I think I've just had better luck with mug making. I suppose we should set up a stockpile for furniture. So we'll put it, just say, right out here. And what do we want in here? We're going to forbid out everything that can't be made at that particular workshop. And then we're going to tell it to take from that workshop. I think that's good. There. Now I'm going to leave the feeder stockpiles and the workshops alone for now. I think we learned in our last game that, like, if you start messing with your feeder stockpiles and you try to get too future on it, too advanced, it can really screw you up. Like, if you don't have enough people to support the way the stockpiles are set up, like feeding in and out, you're gonna run into some issues. So we will leave that alone for now. We're gonna put the stockpiles in place, but we're not gonna worry about getting our stockpiles super streamlined just yet. Okay, so that's gonna be crafts dwarf, but we're gonna be using it to produce rock mugs. So again, you know, stone pile, stockpile there. And then right outside, we're going to put finished goods. We'll just make it kind of the same size as the other one. You know, hey, symmetry and patterns are cool. No metal ores, no clay. You know, I think economic stone is all right at this point. We just want to make sure that, like, bituminous coal and lignite don't get used. In case some of them just, like, somehow ass up in our fortress, like, you know, they just wander in one day drunk. We don't want to use them for mugs. And then let's make a carpenter. We'll put the carpenter down in this other corner. And around the carpenter, you'll never guess what kind of stockpile we want. Yes, wood. And then a furniture storage. Well, that's not all the way dug out yet. And then what do we want? Beds. Buckets, bins, yeah, barrels. Okay, that's good. And we'll say take from here. And then this one, we're actually going to put another stockpile next to it. Take from here, and then I'm going to put a stockpile. It's going to be a finished goods. No, actually, it's going to be furniture storage. It's going to be smaller, maybe just like this. And what this one's going to be for is for rock pots. Exclusively for rock pots. We're going to handle our rock pot problem from the beginning. Boosh. And also take from there. Cacao. Alright. I think that's a pretty good place to wrap up the first video. I'm excited to see what comes in this video. Again, it's not super challenging. Things could always happen, though. It's Dwarf Fortress, you know. You never know what lurks around the corner. Fun, you know. So, but we're gonna try to get that well set up pretty quick. You know, we probably could make, if nobody ever gets hurt, then you're fine. But the problem with that being, well, people get hurt in Dwarf Fortress. People get injured. Dwarves get injured doing just silly things. So, and if we're going to be setting up militias, which we will eventually, they can also get hurt sparring. So, one concern that actually just came to me is with marking those water sources as inactive, is that going to mess up giving water to our animals? Interesting. I have to think about it. I'm going to have to research that and make sure, because we don't want to kill our animals off. We do want to have animals, so I have to figure that out. But anyways, I'll figure that out, you know, not in the middle of an episode. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope to see you in the next video. If you have any comments, concerns, cries of anguish, or want me to add your dwarf's name into this Let's Play, there's still room. There's still time. So I don't mind adding you after the fact. So just let me know in the comments box underneath the video. So again, love you guys. Thank you so much. Game on.